Welcome back, everyone. Today we're continuing to work on our 2016 WRX. And as you guys know, in the previous episode, we told you that we were going to be doing a little bit of custom touches to put our own touch on this car. We got some wheels, we got an exhaust, we got some brand new tires on there, got a pretty good deal online on them, had amazing reviews, so we decided to give them a try. And we also decided to try this shark fin part that's going to go on the back of the roof. And we decided to wrap the roof in this 4D carbon fiber, see how that turns out. Because originally we were playing with the idea of painting the roof black, having this painted black also, the antenna. We decided to wrap it because we are going to be selling this car, and just in case the new owner doesn't like the black roof or doesn't like these fins, it's going to be easily removable because the wrap is going to be on the roof and the shark fins are going to be on the glued to the wrap. So that way in the future, if somebody doesn't like it, they can always just peel it right off and it can be completely factory. So let's take a look at what we got. So we decided to get some replica STI wheels in gold, because that's kind of a Subaru signature color for their wheels, especially for like the STIs. It's a WRX, but it's still a Subaru. And these are 18 by 8.5. They're reps, but they look really good. I think it's gonna set this car off, especially the white with the gold. I think that's just gonna look real nice. And also the other big thing that we want to get these wheels is it's gonna have offset where it's gonna put these wheels out flush. As you can see, the factory ones now sit inside the wheel well. These are gonna come out right to that lip, so it's nice and flush, give it a nice clean look. That's self-explanatory. Got the tires for the wheels. And we didn't get a full exhaust, we just got a axle back. So this is what we decided to get. We got like the burnt tips. I think that's going to look pretty nice on there. We'll see how that sounds without those mufflers, because this is pretty much a straight pipe from the axle back. It's still going to have the cats and the resonators, just no mufflers. So we'll see how that sounds. I think it's going to sound pretty good. Alright guys, so our first step is we are going to pack up the wheels and the tires in our van, take them to our local tire shop, have them get the sensors out of the original tires, put them in the new rims and put the new tires on there, and then we'll come back and put them on the car and see how they fit. Alright, so we got our wheels back from the tire shop, looking good. The tire looks good. Now these tires are directional, so we got to see where the rotation goes. So this one is going to also go, this one's going to go on the front driver's side. Let's put that puppy on there and see what it looks like. I can't wait for the other ones. Oh man. I think that's gonna make a huge difference. The gold with the white, I think that's gonna really set this car apart. And the fitment is nice and flush. We'll get a better look at it once the car's down on the ground. Alright, so let's get the other four on there and we'll see what it looks like on the ground. Alright guys, we got the wheels on there. I think they're looking awesome. We actually had some paint in a rattle can that was very similar. It's not the exact same color, but we got those so that way it goes with our whole white and gold theme. I think it's looking real good. Let's put it down and see how they fit. Alright guys, they're fitting real good, exactly what we're looking for. You can see that rim comes out just about flush with the fenders, the same thing in the back. Really happy with the fitment. These specs are the same specs that the STIs come with, so it's the same fitment. Really happy with how that is looking. And the only thing I think that would be missing is a set of coilovers. Drop it just an inch, not too much. But unfortunately, it's not really in the budget, so we're going to have to skip on the coilovers this time. But otherwise, these wheels are looking really good. Alright, the next thing that I'm really excited about is to see what this thing sounds like once we put that exhaust on there that we got. So let's get it in the air and replace that exhaust and see what it sounds like. So the exhaust that we got is an axle back. Basically, it gets rid of these two mufflers here. It connects to these factory connections, and that's it. Again, ideally, I would have liked to put a catback exhaust because of like this little pipe. You can see it's a 2.5 or 2.25 pipe here. But then when it gets back here, it for some reason goes into this skinny like 1-inch pipe. But again, the budget is our limiting factor, so we're just doing an axle back, just getting rid of the mufflers. It's going to be straight, and we're still going to have the resonators and the catalytic converters on there. Alright guys, so we got the exhaust on there. Let's give it a cold start, see what it sounds like. Man, that sounds good. I'm glad we went with that exhaust. It's just an axle back, but it gives it a great sound. Alright, that exhaust sounds good even when you're driving it. It's not too loud, but you can still hear it. Gives a little crackle when you're shifting on higher RPMs. Really like it. Great exhaust for the money. Alright guys, now that we got 2 of our mods done, got the wheels, got the exhaust on there, looking good. Going on to our next mod. We are going to get this roof prepped to put on our carbon fiber wrap on there. So what we're going to do first is we are going to clay this. Make sure that it's perfectly smooth, there's no bumps or any dirts or anything like that. Once that's prepped, we're going to start applying the film on there. And we also remove the antenna, so that way we have a flawless install. Alright, so we got the wrap done on the roof, looking really good. I mean, it's not real carbon fiber, but it looks really good for a wrap. We're really happy with it, the way it turned out. Even the shark fin turned out pretty good. So the Subaru is all done, with the exception of a detail, but before we do the detail, we're going to go ahead and take it for an alignment to make sure this car is nice and straight. Alright guys, so we're shipping off the second prize that we chose, the Milwaukee tool set. So that's on its way to the second winner. So we're back from the alignment. The car checked out. Everything was been able to put back into spec. We got our sheet here, which is showing what the before was for the toe, because the toe is the only thing that's adjustable in this car for the front and the rear. You cannot adjust the caster or the camber, and that's a very important thing, that it's especially the camber, that it is in the green, because we got the hit was right in the wheel, the tower was off. So what this is showing us is that we got everything pulled out back to exactly where it needed to be, because the wheel this way is perfect and the swing like this is perfect because we had a suspension hit. So that's really good. Now the next thing that we got to do is, this whole windshield is tinted, and we are afraid that when we go to do the rebuilt title inspection, that the DMV is not going to like this, and on top of that, it is kind of dark. So we're going to go ahead and try getting this peeled off. We tried getting a little corner, wasn't really coming off. So what we're going to try is, one of our buddies that's a tint guy, he recommended that we use the trash bag method. So we're going to go ahead and try that and see what happens. Alright, so we got our trash bag here. It's quite not big enough where it's not reaching these areas, and then on the other edge it's not reaching here. So what we're going to do is cut the bag open and twist it like this. That way we can get complete coverage of the windshield. Alright, now that we got it open, got complete coverage, we got to basically trim it like you would if you were tinting it to fit inside the car. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that up, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we got our trash bag all trimmed out where it fits the shape of it. So now what we're gonna do is, we got, well, probably should remove this mirror, which is a Torx. Alright, so we got the mirror taken off. The next step is to spray it with some soapy water. We got some regular dish soap in there. We want to get it soaked, 100% coverage. So we're going to go ahead and soak this whole windshield, make sure that there is the soapy solution all over the windshield, and then we're going to take that trash bag off and put it on the windshield itself from the inside. Alright, so the next step is we got to leave it on there for 20-30 minutes out in the sun, then we'll come back to it, see how easy it peels off. Alright, so we've had it on there for about 30 minutes. Let's see if this actually works. Alright, so I said to get the corner. It's actually coming off real clean. We got a couple of little glue spots, but this is way better than like tint that I've taken off of door windows. where I'd have to spend the whole day trying to get rid of the glue. Voila! Alright, I would say that's 99% effective. Just because it got a little bit of glue there, but just a little bit of razor blade. Take care of that, a couple of minutes, and we got a clear windshield. So good to know this trick. Alright guys, we're getting closer and closer to getting this Subaru 100%. There's a few little details that we just can't leave be. So one of them that we're going to do is these rotors. You really can't see them, the heat shields and everything. And I just think it looks really good when you can see them through the rims. So we're going to go ahead and take these wheels off of there, clean everything up, and give them a nice fresh coat of paint on the calipers and the shields behind the rotors. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and detail this car, and it'll be 100% to go. Alright guys, so we're finally completely done with this car. We got the last of it done with the detailing, so it's all nice and clean. Let's pull it outside and take a walk around it and see what turned out. Alright guys, so as you remember, we actually painted this car, the whole car. The only thing that's not painted on it is the trunk and the roof, and even the roof we covered it with some carbon fiber wrap, which actually turned out pretty decent. We haven't done the wraps too many times. I mean, this is probably like our second one that we've dealt with wraps, but turned out pretty good. I'm happy with the quality of the film. It actually somewhat looks like carbon fiber, so I'm really happy with it. The wheels, I think that was a great choice because the gold, that's a Subaru signature color. We also cleaned up the calipers and the rotors and the shields, which really stand out inside those wheels, where when they were dirty you really didn't notice them, but now you can really see them, and they're nice and clean. The exhaust, I'm actually super happy for the money. This exhaust, I mean, it makes a huge difference on this car. And it sounds great, but at the same time, it's not loud, it's not annoying, but when you get on it, you can definitely hear that it's got an exhaust on it. Also, we decided these, when the car came, were done in white and red. That didn't really go with our theme, so we peeled that stuff off and decided to redo it and give it our own touch. Decided to keep going with the theme with the gold, so we did it in gold and the stars in white. Otherwise, the paint job, I'm super happy, super stoked about the way it turned out. Super clean. We haven't buffed a single part on this car. Everything's exactly the way I painted it. That's how it is right now. We haven't touched anything. The interior came out nice and clean. It wasn't too bad. We still got this one trim that we forgot about, but that's no big deal. We get that ordered. That's the only piece that's missing on this. Also, did a little vinyl here with the carbon fiber and the gold going along with the theme again for all the door sills. The car is actually very clean and very good condition for having 47,000 miles on it. It cleaned up real nice, but it wasn't that dirty to begin with. Alright, in the engine bay, I mean, we did the repairs, and I can barely tell on, you know, that you guys remember this was all just caved in all the way to the tower. Everything looks like it's OEM. Basically, like this car has never been in a wreck. That's always a great sign at the end of the build, that you can't tell that it's ever been wrecked. And the other thing is when you close the hood and it just snaps closed like that, nice and quiet, that nice thump, always a great sign. Everything's lined up. All of our gaps are perfect. Really happy with this build. Alright guys, and as always, at the end of all of our builds, we like to do a price reveal. I know a lot of you guys like these. Alright, so the Subaru, we bought it at Copart for $4,400. Not too bad of a price, I think. The fees were $677 on a $4,400 purchase. So those ate up a good amount. The delivery was another $600. I believe we got it out of Arkansas. The paint itself was 96 bucks. The airbags, we were actually not expecting those to be that expensive. They were $500 a piece. We had two of them, the steering wheel and the knee airbag, so it was another $1,000 for the airbags that we spent. The seat belts and the SRS module, we sent that out to get the all three of those reset. That came out to $270. The knee assembly, which is the suspension, the whole corner with the shock, the control arm, and the spindle, that was $250. A brand new battery was $72. The hood, wound up having to get it from the dealer. It was $550. The fender was $250. Also had to get that from the dealer. The front bumper was $284. Luckily, our grills were all intact except for the one, so we didn't have to buy those, so saved a little bit on that, but the bumper is still kind of spendy. And then all the other miscellaneous pieces that we got from the dealer, like brackets and pieces of metal for the apron, that was another $600 in miscellaneous pieces. The wheels themselves, with the tires, mount and balance, all together, the wheels came out to $1,000. The one headlight was 200 bucks. The exhaust, it's axle back, is $300. So that brings us to a grand total of $10,500 that this car wound up costing us. Now, if you can't do the work yourself and you're thinking of getting a rebuilt title car or a salvage car and you had a shop do everything, this is what we would charge if a car like this got brought to us from a customer. The framework, the metal work, basically to get all that metal work back into place exactly where it needs to be, that took us 18 hours to do. So that comes out to $1,200. And then the paint. We wound up painting this car overall, the whole thing, except for the hood, or I'm sorry, the roof and the trunk, but pretty much the rest of the car got painted, and it's a 3-stage pearl white. We'd price that out at $3,500. Now these rates, you can always find somebody cheaper. There's plenty of people that are more expensive. This is what we would charge. So altogether, if you were to buy this car and have other shops do it, we estimated that it would have came out to $15,500. So let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Good deal, bad deal, okay deal. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you think of the overall, how the car came out. Alright, and we're planning to sell this car. We're going to list it for about $16,000. So it's only $500, like if you took it to another shop, it's only $500 more than what the total car would have cost. Obviously, we did all the work ourselves, so it came out a little bit cheaper, but that's what we're going to be selling it for. That's it for this build. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, that way you don't miss our future builds. If you're already subscribed to the channel and you haven't watched our other builds, I recommend go watching those. They're pretty interesting. We got quite a few builds that we've already done. Also, we're gonna start looking for a new build to do. We want to hear from you guys what you guys want to see. We obviously can't afford a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but something within a reasonable car. But we want to hear from you guys what you want to see us rebuild. So make sure you leave us a comment below to tell us what you guys would like to see. Thanks for watching another episode of Russian Garage, and we'll see you on the next build.